Right, this isn't a religious recording because I need to mention something that's quite serious actually. I just spoken to someone about 10-15 minutes ago of who I know at the church. This is of quite an old lady. Right, first of all, let's just mention there's hundreds of Bible verses that go against me in a sneaky way, in a sly way. And I've done many prayers, gone to church for up to 3 years, and my life just got worse and worse. We've up to 160 threats in one day, and over 200 people photographing me on one day, especially in the year of 2022, and I was being sneezed at anything from 40 to 200 times per day in that 1 year. Anyway, it's the worst this year on record for being sneezed at, worst this year for direct threats and people photographing me. And there's quite a lot of setups and loud bikes tying to erections as well, although 2023 was a lot worse, with a record-breaking year of 6 weeks, apart from 4 days in those 6 weeks where there was at least 400 per day on those 4 days. Then there was over 1,000 bikes per day tying to getting an erection, so loud bikes. But also they were increasing lookalikes to people that sexually abused me as a child, tying to an erection at that time. And when that occurred, most times it was occurring, crows and birds and animals' voice sounds were coming out as well. But I want to mention something else, because that animal voice sound problem has been increasing since December 2022. The worst it's been since before 2012. So that's another problem. And that can be up to 100 to over 1,000 voice sounds per day, especially when the dog's barking. And that can be anything from telling me to fuck people that raped me as a child, to telling me I'm going to burn in the fire of hell, to tell me there's nothing left and that you lost your life. It's all satanic, all nasty, just like threats that I get. And most of the threats I get is anything like to shoot you dead, or break your arms and legs off, to smash you in, to knife you dead, to inject you with a HIV needle, or to take your life away, or claiming I'm a child rapist, or raped girls or whatever, or beat women apart, stuff like that, anything like that. It's just the same with the animal voice sounds, and the threats are the same. Nasty, shouted aggressively, and I've been taken chase with a knife. I've had a bottle smashed across my head before, and I've had many different things like that which I've had to put up with through my time. But let's get to what the Bible says, shall we? Well, the Bible basically says in one of the lost gospels, which is not actually a lost gospel, it's something they couldn't add to the Holy Bible, and it mentions that Jesus Christ had a sexual relationship with Mary Magdalene. So Mary Magdalene was 11, and I think Jesus Christ was 23, I'm not sure. The information's very vague because they can't give that information to the public, and they're only keeping that one manuscript open for the public while covering up the other piece of information, as they're not allowed to show the public on commercial media due to the information content of paedophilia. Well, the Bible mentions in Leviticus that you can only go with someone that's straight and not transgender or homosexual or lesbian. Well, the problem we have here is many ladies are moaning about my age or telling me I'm a sick cunt if I don't look at anyone over the age of 38 because of my age being 43. And some of them are more tighter with that. In January of this year, 2024, I had the very first closest age gap complaint ever of being 40. And anything under 40, you're known as a sick bastard. So I'm thinking to myself, well, the people that raped me as a child are 20 years younger than this at the time it happened. And you're also thinking to yourself, well, how are you going to get anyone if everybody are moaning about the age gap? And why are they telling you to go with the zombie type? And what I mean is, like this Lisa Pike I mentioned, or lookalikes to this person, they keep on telling me that I should be going with the unhygienic looking type, or the goofy looking type that look like they have tomato ketchup in their mouth ready to sneeze it out at you, and looking at you in a ridiculous way as if they are unhygienic and dirty, where their body looks like they're covered in warts or shingles or chickenpox. And if you don't go with that sort of attraction, you're known as a sick bastard. But you're also known as a sick bastard if you have sex over the age of 40, whether it's someone you have sex with is younger, or whether it's someone you have sex with that is older. Regardless of what it is, any sex at all, once you reach the age of 40 or older, you're being told you're a sick cunt, which is not a good sign when you've never had anyone in your whole life. And also, I'm being told that because you're a sick cunt, we need to cause you to have negative attraction so that you don't make babies. So in other words, it's saying so you can't have sex, and this goes back 10 years ago as well. So we have that, when I've not had anyone in my whole life apart from being sexually abused as a child. And take into account all the threats I'm getting, all the photographs that are being taken of me, because I'm getting up to 40 to 200 people photograph me per day, and mostly mistaking me as Sven and giving me trouble under my real name Justin, and sometimes Liam, is causing many problems to backfire at me with trouble every single time I go out. There's threats every single day. There's not a single day where I can go out without a threat, and I'm always mistaken as Sven every day. That's been every single day for the last 2 years at least. So we've got that problem, and then obviously we've got other verses in the Bible that say rejoice, or whatever it is, at your youth you leave your family and you go with your teenage girlfriend or boyfriend. Well, it's a little bit too late for that. I've been stopped from getting anyone all my life, and I've been known as a rapist all my life, and I've had and also God's taken the mickey out of me with animal voice sound, saying that I'm a sick cunt or whatever else, or being knife dead or whatever I said, and you know what I said like just now. So we got that. We got the I'm not into sunny weather, but I'm cursed with sun in a certain way of a specific painting which suggests of a sexual lady who's only in her early 20s and poses with a soft body and smooth face from a specific painting where she's holding the sun out of her hand onto this young man who looks like a boy walking with a notepad in a woodland along a track while it's cloudy or rainy or drizzly everywhere else, but this boy's being cursed with the sun. Now, like I say, I'm being violated because I'm getting this problem every day. So on a cloudy day, every time I go out, and it's happened for the last 2 years, basically every day, it's been sunny where I've been and cloudy everywhere else or around me in that certain way. And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you're going to violate me with the sun, well, where's the sex to go with the curse? And it's not there. So what they've done is they deliberately took that painting off the shelves that was selling on postcards in shops, and they took the picture right off the internet, so I can't find it to get the evidence. So that's very sly, isn't it? But anyway, let's go back to my general life. There's never been any good news. Any girlfriends that have been possibilities have turned against me, or enemies have turned them against me. They've even paid people to turn against me, or the rich have taken it, or people have won the lottery, which has caused people to move from where I used to live to other places when I was sort of just reaching adult age, you know. They caused many things. Clairvoyant readings that have come to past, they've all failed. As I say, there's a negative build-up, and as soon as that girlfriend comes into your life's going to get better. The girlfriend doesn't come into your life continues, and it gets worse, and it just drops nastily. So there's nothing you can do about that. So you've got that problem, and then after that, you've got all these road closures, bus services being taken off, or fuel explosions on the M5, like in 2011, when a clairvoyant predicted a girlfriend at North Petherton Carnival, which never existed, and this girlfriend was supposed to be Chloe, and she was supposed to be aged 18, and supposed to be rewarded to me by God, which never occurred because there was a fuel explosion. And then obviously on dating sites I've been violated, been threatened to be smashed in, or get my ex-boyfriend to smash you in. They're saying that you're a sick cunt and you're supposed to fancy older attraction, or not to have people that are hot looking, and just going on like that. Then we got more problems because you've had the road closures. They've decided to close the shop, or the shop has been closed on that day where he's going to meet up or whatever. And many other different things like that, just going on and on and on. But it gets even better, because I've spent over £9,000 on dating sites and dating agencies to receive absolutely nothing. But on top of that, energy weapons are being used at my old place, which has caused me to lose all my old school jungle music, which is my favourite type of music. And now we've got all my dark ambient, which are £1,400 of dark ambient that's gone as well, due to energy weapons or something in the air that's destroyed all the discs between December of 2023 to when I stayed at my dad's in February 2024, when I tried them on 3 different disc players, yet other discs were playing. So I had to chuck out £1,400 of dark ambient discs that I bought as an alternative music, because I lost all my music at my old place. But before I moved, I had this in a garage, a storage place. But there's many things that have happened since I've been at Thorn House. I mean, I've had £1,000, a £500 and a £200 money pack go missing. Helen, one of the staff workers, knew it was going to be a really hot day, and I accidentally left my vinyl all on the radiators, and she accidentally turned the heating on instead of turning it off, and she turned it the wrong way. So she apologised. I wasn't happy about it because she cost me a lot of money. In today's value, that vinyl I mean, you're looking at about £3,000 or £4,000. When I bought it, it was under £1,000. But you know, she didn't realise, so I couldn't do nothing about it, because she wasn't doing it on purpose, you see. And there's been many different things, you know, other things as well, which I could go on. So, and I've had to put up with years and years and years, well, 3 years of threats and banging in sequence of threats up to 1,000 times a night, especially in the beginning of 2023, and to be threatened to be injected with HIV, to be smashed in, to be burgled, to have my life taken, to be told that I'm being raped as a child when I'm reborn in my next life. And if we go back to a clairvoyant reading going back to no, I can't remember the year now. It's 15 years ago, roughly. I had a past life reading, and I was told that in my next life, my past life, I was sexually abused and never had anyone when I reached an adult, when I was a female, when I was a young lady, and I died before the age of 25, but I can't remember what age she said, because the reading's a long time ago. But anyway, let's get to the good news, shall we? Because I want to tell you exactly what this Christian lady told me that I saw roughly half an hour ago now. Well, firstly, I mentioned that I was into this old school jungle stuff before these issues occurred, and she says it's demonic music. She says she knows what it is, and she says you don't want to listen to that electronica stuff because it's part of the devil and just goes against Jesus Christ, and you'll be judged if you were a Christian if you listen to that sort of music. So I went on to I went on to dark ambient, and she said the same with that. She said dark ambient is a dark category. Anything dark is satanic. So then I said I'm into new age and mystical things like Ouija boards, tarot cards, and you know, this sort of thing like that. So she said that's if you read Timothy in the Bible and another chapter, I can't remember what it was, it said God is against that as well. So we moved on to my photography, and I said I like taking pictures of creepy Victorian objects and old buildings, or Edwardian things, or dull days instead of sunny days. And she said that mystical taking pictures, or should I say taking pictures in a mystical way, or in a way where it looks like that, again she said that's satanic. So I thought to myself, well, if that's all against me, and sexuality's against me, and my life's against me, then obviously that's the wrong religion for me, isn't it? Christianity. And obviously when you take into account that you've had experiences of being in woodlands and almost falling through paranormal experiences where it feels like the floor's going under, you're getting tapping under your feet, I found that very interesting, which started to occur in 2019 but never before in my life. And there was experiences where it felt like you were going down into a tunnel which wanted to take you into a place which you could sense, if you were to think in your head what it would suggest, a place of like Victorian dangerous electrical working instruments that do dangerous things to you that you don't get on Earth, and are more creepy and more dark looking with more different types of powers and stuff like that. So it gave the impression of that, and this was happening constantly. So that was one thing that's occurred. When I was walking down a track back in January, and it's happened a couple of times, not just once, you get a sudden feeling of something stopping you go any further, like a dimensional, or like a wall stopping you go anywhere, but it's invisible. So we've had that. So in January there was two little girls aged about 9 to 11 that came off of a field, and they were about 15 to 20 foot in front of me, and they were having a good time laughing, ready to go onto the track in front of me to walk to wherever they were going, because it was only those two people on the track on that day, because it was a quiet, gloomy, sort of cloudy day. Anyway, this invisible force stopped me going anywhere, and it came out of nowhere, and I thought, well, what's causing this? And it's very similar to like if you're on a bungee ride, you know, that round ball, and you go on a bungee, you go in the air and you've got that gravity feeling where it pushes you down or it pushes you up, and you reach it's like that sort of feeling. So you walk and it's pushing you back, so like two magnets going against each other, you can't walk, but it's not physically touching you when you're walking past, it's just a feeling where it's stopping you go anywhere, where you put your foot through, but there's like a force or a magnetical force that's going against your leg, pushing it back. And that lasted for a couple of minutes until those girls eventually went. And then obviously a similar occurrence happened more recently, but so that's another thing that's occurred. So, and then obviously when it comes to my music, you know, I mentioned losing all my music. I find out that all my music is restricted, a whole lot of it, including dark ambient and the old school jungle stuff. But the problem is they're telling you to listen to happy, jolly, good life sexual music or religious music, like Christianity music. But some people's minds don't take to happy, good life, jolly music. So that's against me. So, you know, the Bible's basically got hundreds of verses in there that are against me. I've got a whole load of these verses that I've put on my own Bible verse, kind of what I've made over the last couple of years. So the Dra Bible says that time will no longer be here, or whatever, because God's against time. And my nickname is Just in Time, because I'm Justin Langford. I've had a nickname when I was a kid of Just in Time, and even several years ago Clairvoyant also nicknames me Just in Time. So, and I like the name, but God's against me in that as well. So no matter what it is, Christianity is against me big time. And when I spoke to these young ladies who have had rapture dreams, one, when they're 18 they're single mothers. Two, if I ask them if they're single, if there's anyone single, they tell you you're a sick cunt, and that's a Christian. And then you've got many other different problems as well. But anyway, I'm going to have to end the video here because obviously there's people about. But there is a lot more I could cover if I wanted. But I'm going to leave it there because obviously there's people about and I'm very low on battery on the camera. But you get my drift, don't you? So if you've got any comments, please let me know. Thanks for listening. I said the ending was going to be now, but there's just one little thing that I forgot to mention. And that is, in the Bible, it says you mustn't use your instrument as a use of wickedness, but a use of righteousness. And there are other Bible verses as well. I can't remember what the actual chapter is or the verse, but basically what it says is if you masturbate is a sin against God, and that you need to be married first and you need a partner before you do that. But what about these people that have never had sex in their whole life and been sexually abused as a child, and also being nailed as a sick cunt all their life, and they're told they're not allowed to masturbate or they go to the fire of hell? And the other thing is, I've been getting dreams or experiences of hellfire. So it just shows that God's fallen. When it comes to like in old lighting or street lighting, because it's electricity, God is against the modern use of electricity, and it's being nailed as satanic by certain people in certain religions who are Christians. Anyway, I forgot to mention these little bits, but you know, there's been a lot of people in my direction, so this is why I've had to add this onto the end of the video. But they were important bits that I remembered. But everything else, like I said, there's a lot to go through. I'm just going to have to leave it there. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. Crowsang says this, going to hell just in that croaky sort of way. There is one there is one other thing that I wanted to mention. This recording, I keep saying it's ending, but it's not. I'm going to have to make a note of that. Well, basically, when animals have made sounds, they're telling me that I've been going to be going to the fire of hell because I wouldn't be in a sexual relationship with someone who sexually abused me as a child and remained in that relationship, and it's causing God, the creator God, to get nasty about it and using torture and fire and hell against me, telling me that I'm going to burn in my afterlife because of this. Thank you for listening. This really is the end of the video now. Have a great day.